Yo, in this video I'm going to teach you how to play one of my original pieces of music. It's a loop jam called It Gets Better. It was on the album that I just released, which I hope you all have listened to, and it's also off my YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link below so that you can listen to the whole thing after you learn how to play it. But I'm also going to play a clip for you right now of the very beginning so that you know what I'm about to teach you. Alright, I'm going to teach you exactly how to play that. It's a 4-part loop jam. There's a rhythm section, and then there's like 3 lead guitar parts that are kind of all over the neck. And we'll go step by step through all of them, starting with the rhythm section. A couple of pieces about this tune. It's in the key of E major, and it's in the time signature 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So the rhythm section, the chords sound like this. And then it loops. It repeats right after that. So what we're working with is E major, open E string, 2nd fret A string, 1st fret G string. This is a spread triad. For E major, we're not playing the D string. In fact, we're only playing 3 strings. That's really important for all these chords. We only want to play the E string, the A string, and the G string for every single one of these chords. We start with E major, then we're going to walk up to A major using F sharp minor and G sharp minor. And we do that like this. 2nd fret E string, 4th fret A string, 2nd fret G string. Sometimes I play it with a bar, sometimes I play it with my thumb, like a Hendrix chord kind of, or Stevie Ray Vaughan or whatever. Same notes, doesn't matter, you know, it's whatever's most comfortable for you. I alternate just sort of randomly. There's our F sharp minor chord. We're going to take this up to the 4th fret and change nothing about the shape. We're going to keep this exact same fingering, and we're just going to shift it up a whole step so that we're on the 4th fret of the E string, the 6th fret of the A string, and the 4th fret of the G string. There's G sharp minor. Then we come to A. 5th fret E string, 7th fret A string, 6th fret G string. So far we have. Then we walk up to C sharp minor from A using B major. We're going to do the same thing we just did with that minor chord where we kept everything the same, we just moved it up a whole step. From A to B, it's the exact same shape, we just move it up a whole step. So we're on the 7th fret of the E string, the 9th fret of the A string, and the 8th fret of the G string. Then we're going to go up to C sharp minor, 9th fret E string, 11th fret A string, 9th fret G string. From there, we're going to go back down to A, but we're not going to walk down, we're going to jump down. Actually, we're going to jump past it. We're going to go from C sharp minor to G sharp minor. Same chord that we were using to walk up to the A, and then we're going to resolve it to the A. There's a little bit of repetition there in this chord progression, which makes it pretty. So, all the chords together, E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B, C sharp minor, G sharp minor, and A. That's the whole rhythm section. And the rhythm goes like this. It's in 6/8, like I said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So we land on a big chord in the beginning, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a rest on the 4th beat. So 1, 2, 3, rest. 5, 6, 1. So on the 5th and the 6th beat of the measure, we start the walk up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a little turnaround that I do at the very end, and I'm using my pinky here. When we're playing the A chord, I'm going to drop my pinky on the 9th fret of the D string. So for all of the other chords, we're muting the D string. We're not using it at all. But in this chord, I'm going to drop my pinky on the 9th fret. It's kind of a stretch, definitely a hand buster. And I'm going to use it to play this little turnaround at the very end of the measure. And then we loop immediately after it. So the whole thing together. And then we loop right there. After the rhythm section comes the first sort of lead line, and it's a doubled octave guitar riff. Sounds like this. So what we're doing is we're playing an octave shape here so that the top note and the bottom note are actually the same note, an octave apart. Starting on the 11th fret of the A string, and then you want to put your ring finger a whole step above where our first finger's at, and we skip a string. So whole step up, skip a string, that's where we find the octave. So here's where our first finger's at, the 11th fret. We're going to go up a whole step. We're going to skip this string. We're going to land on the 13th fret of the G string. That's the same note, an octave higher. All you got to do is keep this spacing, and then wherever you put this, it's an octave. It'll be the same note on the top as is on the bottom. So one way that I like to think about this actually is just forgetting what the top finger is doing and only pay attention to the bottom one. Because then we really only have to remember where to put one finger, and as long as we keep this spacing, this finger will always know where to be. So what we do with this lick, actually it doesn't start on the 11th fret, it starts on kind of a jazzy slide up to the 11th fret from the 10th fret. That's how we start the lick. Then we jump up a minor third to the 14th fret of the A string, so I'm 14 on the bottom, and then this would be 16th fret on the top. We jump down to this would be the 9th fret of the A string and the 11th fret of the G string, and then we go down a whole step to the 7th fret of the A string and the 9th fret of the G string. So it basically just repeats that 4 times, and then the last time there's kind of a little turnaround at the end. So it's all octaves, we're just keeping that exact same shape, whole step up, skip a string, and then we're really just paying attention to what our first finger's doing. The turnaround sounds like this. Kind of messed it up at the end, but it's going back and forth between, I'm on the 11th fret of the A string, up to the 12th fret of the A string, and we're just alternating back and forth between those two. Sounds like this. And then the last thing we do is we slide up to that top note that we hit earlier in the lick, 14th fret A string, 16th fret G string. So again, the whole thing is like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's the second part of the loop. The third part sounds like this. like a drone open, we're letting these notes ring open and free, and we're not muting them at all. What we're doing is we're playing the first 3 notes of the E major scale, starting on the 9th fret of the G string. So this is E, it's actually a root. The root of our 1 chord and the first step of the scale of the key that we're in. And what we're doing is we're going up a whole step to the 2nd note of the scale, so 9th fret to the 11th fret. Then we're going to go up another whole step and find this on the 9th fret of the B string. This would be the 3rd step of the E major scale. So we're really just going 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Going back and forth between the 3rd step and the 2nd step of the scale, sometimes going down to the 1. And what we want to do is let both of these notes, the 2nd note of the E scale and the 3rd note of the E scale, we want to let those ring out. We don't want to mute them at all. No palm muting, no muting with our fingers, so that what you get is dissonance, actually. This is dissonance. We have 2 notes right next to each other in the scale that we're playing at the same time. It just adds a teeny little bit of texture, sort of this dissonant drone note to be in the background of this whole piece. And it's a little bit faster too. It adds a little bit more tempo, or not tempo, but rhythm to the piece. So this little lick comes in the 2nd half of the measure. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Then there's a turnaround at the very end. We're going 12th fret B string up to the 14th fret B string, just back and forth. This kind of mirrors what the other lead line is doing. Then we start the main lead line, the harmonized lead that's way up top. It sounds like this. So what we're doing is we've got 12th fret B string, 16th fret E string, down to the 14th fret. Then we're going to bend up a half step bend from the 16th fret up to where the 17th fret would be. Land back down on 16, and then we're just going to walk down 14 to 12. So again, it's like and then what we do after that is we lay down the bottom harmony. That's the top harmony. There's 2 parts. The bottom sounds like this. So we're on the 13th fret of the G string, up to the 17th fret of the B string. We come down to the 16th fret. Then we're going to bend a whole step up from the 17th fret, up to where the 19th fret would be. Land back down on the 17th, and then we're going to fall to the 16th fret, then the 14th fret. So together, those 2 little licks, the top harmony and the bottom harmony, sound like this. There's a bend there I slid, but that's basically the notes that are being played. And then, and the rhythm sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there you go. You know how to play the 4 parts of this loop jam. It gets better. The rhythm section, the first lead line, the second lead line, and then the main lead line. So if you're confused about, especially the timing, that's probably the one thing that it might take a little bit longer to get from just watching this. Play along with the video. Watch this lesson and then immediately go watch this video afterwards and play along with it to really get a feel for exactly how the timing is for all of it. Okay, I hope you got a lot from this lesson. Definitely go watch the whole video and try jam along with it. I'm really interested in how that goes. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. I really want to hear from you. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.